For many of us, quality family time is rare these days, which is one of the reasons we are so excited to invite your family to participate in the Ride for Refuge, a family-friendly cycling fundraiser that helps to rescue those who are displaced, vulnerable, and exploited. Last year, raising money to help little girls and women out of the sex slave industry in both Cambodia and Uganda. You know, girls, it was really just a little bit of our time that we committed to do this, yet we made a big difference.
Yeah, especially in my legs and in my arms,
well, you know,
biking.
It was so cool because I kind of, as always happens, I dragged you guys into it. Like I drag you into all kinds of things. And you guys aren't necessarily bikers per se,
What are
but you were
saying,
willing.
Cheryl?
Well, no, I mean, that's what you told me.
You're right.
But you were willing, you know,
we were willing.
and then after that day, I remember Melinda in particular was like, this is an amazing event. Like you loved it.
And I think because the physical part, because Ann and I, honestly, we had not been on bikes for many years.
I think the last time I was on a bike was when my youngest was in one of those pull-behind carts that you see people pulling, and he's 6'6" now. So I mean, it's been a while.
But I think what really encouraged us to do it is for the cause, and it was for the girls. And so sometimes you're like, all right, I have to put myself aside, get past myself, and focus on why we're doing it. And that's a great thing, Cheryl, that you guys
you know, on Full Circle, we talk a lot about making a difference in our world, and I think it's really important that we do it. You know, us on the couch, that we get off the couch and do it, because it's just so easy to tell everyone else what they should be doing or we should be doing, but are we really doing it, you know? And so it was so cool for me anyway. And you know, sexually trafficked girls in Cambodia are so close, well, anywhere in the world, but Cambodia is where I've gone to meet them, are so close to my heart. And honestly, when I was riding my bike, it was a form of prayer. Like I was praying, and because it was raining. You guys did 10 kilometers. Denise and I, we did 25. Let me tell you, that last 15 was miserable. I don't even know what to say. It was like pouring, like there was water pouring out of my running shoes. And so I just used that as prayer, and it actually became one of the most beautiful experiences I can remember, of just pouring out my heart for those girls.
And you know what? It's not just us getting together as friends to get healthy, to raise some money for somebody. We know exactly where these dollars are going that we're raising in this fundraiser. We know because Crossroads Missions is at work in Uganda, in Cambodia. In fact, we're going to have a look at a clip of part of what we're doing in Uganda. We're highlighting a lady named Alice Achan, who has gone back now to this war-ravaged country. The Lord's Resistance Army, this is a religious cult, really, had taken over and just sexually exploited little girls and women and made sex slaves of them. And she has gone back now to help rescue these girls, and we are partnering with her. So have a look at what we're doing in Uganda.
Still, Alice considers herself blessed. While others were forced to stay in camps, she managed to get away to Kampala and go to university. She said she would still be there if God hadn't intervened.
It was in 2002, when there was too much insecurity, that the Lord asked me to come back to Padel. And it was something that I couldn't even believe and I couldn't imagine, because the rebels were so many. And we went praying. I had the same thing, go back to Paris.
She did. With no resources and security but her own savings and faith, Christian Counseling Fellowship was born. Her goal was to reach the child mothers, girls abducted, raped, and impregnated by LRA insurgents. Rescued by the Ugandan army, many girls had nowhere to go.
We started with about 40 girls who were completely devastated. They were young and they didn't know what to do.
Like so many things in Africa, her work started under a big tree. With no NGOs in town, Alice took these girls in, armed with nothing but a degree in social work and a few Bibles.
Our favorite verse used to be Jeremiah 29 verses 11 to 14. The girls just confirmed that their survival and their abduction, it was for a purpose, because God brought them out and they're helping many people.
In 2006, Crossroads Missions came through and discovered Christian Counseling Fellowship. Missions Director David Shelley says Achan was exactly the kind of person they choose to partner with. Local, connected, and compelled to serve by the love of God.
They're very well connected with community because they're involved in the church life on the ground in northern Uganda. So they automatically have an in with the people and they know the needs.
Today, CCF has grown far beyond crisis counseling. It's reaching out to the whole community through building homes, agricultural training, education, and most of all, care. Achan says it's her life's calling.
There was nothing special about me. I was always in the village where the rebel could abduct me, but God kept me, I think, for a purpose.
Talk about heroes, you know, to go back into this very difficult area and rescue these little girls, to give them help out of the life that they have been condemned to because of what has been done to them.
And I love it. Alice is a single woman. You know, more power to the single people in the world, you know? Like, sometimes the church doesn't always give them the respect that they deserve. You know, it's more like if you're married, you're useful. But there she is, like by herself in Africa, just changing these girls' lives.
Being a mother to a lot of these girls as well.
Absolutely.
And very simple. What did she say? She had a degree in social work and a few Bibles. And it's like, so you don't have to always go and do something with massive resources in the beginning. You can just go because God's telling you to go.
And that's why we're going to the Ride for Refuge. We are supporting Alice Achan and the work that she is doing there through Crossroads Missions. We know that every dollar we raise in the Ride for Refuge is going to help these young girls in Uganda.
And, you know, women all over the world are suffering, you know, and so as women, we're part of the answer for them. You know, nothing's closer to my heart than as well sexually trafficked girls in Cambodia. I had the chance to go there and meet some of them and interview them, and man, that was so hard. And a lot of them didn't want to talk about what happened. They could talk about their life now and the healing, but it was hard for them to talk about it. Many of their parents actually sold them. So we have a little clip here just to give you a sense. You can meet one of them. Her name is G, and this is just a little teeny bit of her story.
At first glance, these girls look like any other teenagers, making crafts and enjoying time with friends. But underneath their beautiful smiles lies a world of pain. These girls are recovering from some of the worst abuse imaginable: torture, druggings, beatings, and rape. They were sold into Cambodia's sex trade as a child, some as young as 4, and are now on the long road to recovery thanks to Hagar Cambodia, a faith-based NGO that is committed to helping them heal mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. These are the lucky ones. They were rescued. For thousands of others, that horrifying life continues. As a former RCMP investigator who's worked on many cases of sex tourism, Brian McConaughey knows exactly what these little kids suffer.
There's the initial trauma of often being sold by families. They don't trust any adults. Every adult they've come to know buys and sells them and uses them. And then once they're in the brothels, oftentimes they're conditioned with physical pain in terms of beatings, electrocution, etc. And then when they do start seeing customers as older kids, maybe 12 years old, 9 to 12 years old, oftentimes they're servicing a huge number of clients that are adult males. And of course, the stature of Cambodians are small to begin with. And then you have children involved in this where it's very damaging physically. On top of that, you have the psychological implications of being used in that way. You have very active torture. These guys are intent on impressing on these little lives the power they have. They hold the keys of life and death, they would presume, in these videos that I've seen. And the children live in fear of this. It's absolutely torture in every way I can imagine.
G is a poignant example of what the love and expertise of recovery programs like Hagar can do. Trafficked at 10 and rescued 3 years later, she has worked through a lot of trauma and forgiveness.
It does my heart good, makes me smile, because for G, when she first came, she was terrible. She was very difficult behaviour, antisocial behaviour, angry, sexualised behaviour, would not dress very modestly, not speak very well at all, no respect for staff, did not have any close friends. And last year, G went through our counselling program of this trauma-focused cognitive behaviour therapy, and she told her story, and I was amazed because G was rescued at the point of sale, and now she's been able to tell that story and feel released from that.
It was a different girl that we met, testament to the miracles that consistent love and growing faith can bring.
My life used to be more difficult before I came to faith. I felt like I couldn't handle it, but once I had a relationship with Jesus, He really helped me. Whenever I struggle, I talk to Him, and He answers my prayers.
She says she always felt unloved by her family, but the deepest cut came when they decided to traffic her, a decision almost impossible to comprehend.
I had a painful life because they sold me. It was so shameful, especially for me as a girl. I didn't feel like I could face anyone ever again after that, and I didn't want to live.
So that's G. She is one of my absolute favorites. She just became my buddy, you know, and she's so beautiful. I wish I could show her face. You know, that was one of the deals, is that for these girls to have a chance in Cambodia, if their faces are on the internet or they're out there, they'll be judged as just completely ruined for life. And so we didn't want to do that to them, but I wish you could have seen her face, because she's so beautiful, and it's just such a, like, I don't know, full of hope, and you can see the healing that's happening in her life. After what these kids have been through, it's incredible. There is restoration.
As a mom, that just gets into my spirit. I just get so angry. The thought of these precious little girls facing torture and prostitution, and these are precious little girls. They shouldn't be going through that. And that's why I get excited about things like the Ride for Refuge, Cheryl.
That's why when I was riding my bike, I was literally weeping and I was remembering all their faces, and just like praying that, you know, God just continues that work in them, and then to rescue so many more that I haven't met yet that are trapped in brothels still. Like, just, it's incredible.
And that's why, Maggie, you supported us last year. I remember that you did financially support us, even though you couldn't go on the bikes with us.
And you know, that's the great thing, that you can't, if you can't jump on a bike, you can support with money, and you can be a part of that change, for sure.
That's right. That's fullcircleride.org.
Very good.
We'll get more information about that in a minute.
And so here's the thing. I think, you know, we've seen the need, and now I think we and our viewers need to see actually us on the bikes doing this. And some people
not believe that.
Some people might not believe that we actually can get on a bike and do it, and we did it. So let's take a look at this clip, and we're going to be talking through the clip as well as we sort of journey on the bike ride. And so just take a look at this.
Here it is. We did it in Waterloo, Ontario. It happened all across Canada. More than 800 people just at that one location, actually, if you can believe it. And they send people off in waves every 10 minutes. I think we were, what, the third wave?
Were we the third wave? Yeah, we were.
So
there you
go.
We are.
There we are. There's me. I think it's a slow start.
Helmets.
I was just waiting for everybody to catch up there. Denise.
And our team.
And there's Dave. We had 20 people on our team, actually. A number of people joined us.
And I love the ages, the generations that were there.
Oh, kids.
From the young to the old to all of us in between.
Yes, of course.
Now that's an interesting way to travel.
Oh my gosh.
We were just sharing our secrets.
You know what? We haven't even broken a sweat yet.
Yeah, look at us.
This is nothing.
This 100K is nothing.
Do you think that might have been a little bit of an exaggeration?
Okay,
and there's Ann
one
going.
of the few times I coasted, but you know, wait for it, because I was not alone.
Oh, you had somebody helping you?
My loving husband is right there.
Look at that couch chick.
He has my back
and
always.
What's great is that those bikes were amazing. They really helped with the ride.
Yeah, their journey ends, ours continues. Another 15K to go.
Woo! We have a rest stop down there if you need it. That is 10 kilometers.
You did it! You did it! You did it!
Run, we're going more?
Oxygen, please.
No, I'm with her, so whatever she does, I'll do.
That's it. All right.
This was my first year.
And my second.
And it was amazing.
Great experience.
And you know, this little bit of rain just made me completely realize how little we put up with compared to those that we're helping. So it was an absolute pleasure.
Couldn't agree more.
I feel great. I just finished 25K. It's wet, it's great, it's cold, but it's a great cause.
It's the first time, so it was a good experience. Yeah.
The ride means a lot to me personally, because I had a chance to travel through Asia and see how desperate these families are, and these girls in crisis, they really touched my heart, and it meant a lot to me to be able to do the ride today and make a difference. And I just want to thank all the donors that were so generous to support me. Thanks.
That's my beautiful sister.
That was your
She was
sister.
our #1 fundraiser on our team. She kicked all of us, and we were fundraising on television. So I mean, I was like, yeah.
How much did we raise total last year?
We raised $17,758. We were the #1 team in Canada, #8 overall around the world. So, and you can ride with us this year, which I think is so cool. We had 20 people join us that were so beautiful, like older ladies with their granddaughters. We had young people, like just all ages. Ely, our hairdresser.
Just you saw him there.
I know. So what you can do is you can ride with us, join the team, you can raise funds. Make sure that you can captain a team wherever you are across Canada. So you can choose it. Just make sure that you choose Full Circle Girls in Crisis as your cause, and you can give to the cause. And we're going to change the world together.